Hey you guys, it's Gabby G here in NYC. That's right. So today we are going to discuss things home buyers should know. But really, let's focus on the expenses because I, for one, don't like those kind of surprises. I want to know what things are going to cost me up front. I was this close to buying a timeshare, but then, they try to diddly daddle and fiddly faddle and tell you all kinds of lies, and then all of a sudden, surprise, another fee, and I wasn't having it. I mean, that was probably for the best, honestly. But nobody likes a surprise fee or a surprise expense when they're about to do something huge anyway. Okay, just lay it out on the table so I know what to expect and I know how to prepare. So let's get into it. So, as a first-time home buyer, you definitely can expect to pay a down payment. That is pretty much standard. Like, I think most people already expect the down payment. What many buyers or just people who know about purchasing a home expect is like they think the down payment has to be 20%, but that's not necessarily true. It all depends on the loan that you are applying for or eligible for, qualified for, however you want to put it. But it all depends on that. Depends on your credit score. Depends on how much you can put down, because there are some people who want to put down 20 or 25%, and they can afford to do that, and that's great, because there are definitely benefits to paying 20 or more down on a home, but there are some people who can't do that much or don't have that much or whatever the case might be, but it doesn't mean you can't own a home. There are options. So definitely do your research on that. But I just wanted to put that out there. You're going to have to pay a down payment, right? So that can range anywhere from 3.5 to 20% or more if you want to do that. So, I did my research and check online, Rocket Mortgage, Bank Rate. They have so many different places that you can gather information on every topic, right? But there are reasons that you would want to avoid putting down less than 20%. So here are a couple reasons. One, you have something called PMI, which is private mortgage insurance. It is basically held in place by the lender to protect themselves in case you default on your loan. So anytime you're putting less than 20% down on a home, there's going to be PMI involved. So prepare yourselves for that as well. All of that depends on credit score, depends on a lot of different things. As far as the amount, varies. And then it also depends on how much you're actually putting down. But if you want to avoid that expense, you would want to put down 20 or more % in order to avoid that. Another benefit of putting down more than 20 or more, is that you would be able to secure a lower interest rate because you would be less of a risk to the lender. So they'll give you a little leeway, but the higher a risk you are to them, the more money you're asking of them, the higher your rate will be. And also your monthly payments, okay? So aside from PMI, because the PMI is going to send your monthly mortgage payments up significantly. So paying more down lowers your monthly payment. Not having a PMI at all, you're going to have a lower monthly payment. So these are definitely benefits towards putting more down if you can. Another expense that you can expect to pay are your closing costs. So that is typically 3 to 6% of your purchase price. So you've got a down payment, which is like 3.5 to 20 or more of your purchase price, percentage wise. And then you have your closing costs, which is 3 to 6%. Just, you won't know your exact closing cost number until they like put together your disclosure and everything like that, which is really towards the end of the whole process. So basically factor in 3 to 6% of the purchase price, of the sale price, because there's just so many variables that factor into it that you can't get an exact number. But prepare to pay those closing costs. It'll work better in your interest, especially in a seller's market. And another expense that you can expect to pay as the buyer is for your inspection. I honestly recommend getting a home inspection. Just don't get a home without it. No, seriously, don't. Do the inspection. It'll run you maybe, I can't give you an exact, it really depends on the inspector. But it could be about $500. Just kind of factor that in, add it in there, add it in there. Get that inspection, guys. If getting a co-op or condo, and even multifamily, different types of properties, will also want you to have a cash reserve. That's basically money left in the bank, okay, that's doing nothing, that is there as a backup just in case. And it might be 6 months of your mortgage payment or something. It varies depending on what type of property you're going for, but you may need cash reserves if you're looking at a particular type of property. So just remember that, keep in mind, Then there are property taxes or common charges, maintenance fees, HOA fees. Y'all kind of group those together depending on the type of property that you are purchasing. So typically your lender will group these together so that you get a real general feel for what you're going to be paying per month. Property taxes is just, you're going to be paying that forever, okay? Guaranteed, okay? That's what people say. 2 things that are guaranteed: death and taxes. You're going to be paying them, okay? No way around those. All right, so there's that. Then there's HOA, which is the Homeowners Association. They have those fees because the association, they'll cover different things, whether it's security, landscaping, for like condos and co-ops, some maintenance, ground maintenance, the super, all types of different things fall under that. So it'll vary. There's no set number for that either. But just keep in mind, these are things that you're also going to be paying monthly. And then aside from that, you're just going to have additional expenses that you should just think about. You can still get a home if you don't necessarily have these things. For instance, moving expense. I mean, there's some people who want the whole white glove experience and will pay thousands of dollars for the moving truck and the people to set everything up the way that they want to, so that they just have to walk into their home and live. And there's no unboxing and all that fuss. And then there's some people who just have really good friends and a truck, and they can move themselves and, just pay their friends in pizza. And that, they don't have to worry about that expense. But it's something to factor in, especially if you're relocating. If you're relocating for a job, some employers will assist with your moving expenses. And then aside from that, you would want to have some sort of emergency fund. You just never know what's going to happen. So I hope that this was able to help you understand some of these fees. These are things you're going to be expected to pay. Oh, and one more. Towards the end of closing, towards your closing day, there's also homeowners insurance that you're going to be required to set up, before you close. So it's just, there's quite a list, but I wanted you to just hear it from me. If you've never heard it before, now you know. There are quite a lot of expenses, but your main and your larger ones is the down payment, the closing costs. The smaller ones, your inspection, okay, your homeowner's insurance. Those are the things that you're going to really want to keep in mind. And then the ones that you may or may not have, moving expenses, PMI, all of those types of things. So I hope that this helped. It was a pleasure having you, and I will see you next time with Gabby G in NYC. Just forget me. It's crazy. Insane, right? Bye, you guys.